In this lesson, we're going to be discussing graphing linear equations when you're given the equation in slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. When your equation is in this form, you only have to pay attention to your slope, which remember is m, and your y-intercept, which remember is your b value. In order to graph it when it's in this form, the first thing you want to do is to graph your y-intercept. That is always going to be a point written 0 and then whatever your b value is, whatever your constant is. Step 2, you're going to then use the slope, which remember is m, to create more points. And we do that by doing rise over run. Finally, step 3, you're going to use a ruler or a straight edge to draw a line that extends through the points, placing an arrow at both ends. Remember, we're not connecting the dots. We are graphing the equations of lines. So your line should go completely through your graph with arrows on the end. Let's jump into some examples. Looking at number 1, we want to start by graphing our y-intercept. Our y-intercept for number 1 is positive 1. So on our graph, we're going to start by putting a point at 0, 1, because that's our y-intercept. To graph that, we start at our origin, we do not move left or right any, and we go up 1. Then, from that point, we're going to use our slope, so we can see our slope is 2/3 to graph at least 2 more points. And remember, that's rise over run. So since it's a positive 2, we're going to go up 2, and then it's a positive 3, we're going to go to the right 3. And we're going to start from our y-intercept that we already have plotted. So starting from our y-intercept, we're going to go up 2, over to the right 3, and that gives us another point. And we're going to do that one more time. Up 2 to the right 3. Once I have at least 3 points, I can connect those points going through the points and all the way through my graph with arrows on the end to show that the line continues. Number 2, y equals 4/3 x minus 2. Again, we want to start by graphing our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is negative 2. So that point is 0, negative 2. Starting at our origin, we don't move left or right any, and we move down 2. This gives us our y-intercept. Then we use our slope to find at least 2 more points. So our slope is 4/3. Remember, it's rise over run. Because our 4 is positive, we're going to go up 4. And because our 3 is positive, we're going to go to the right 3. Starting from the point we already have graphed, we're going to go up 4 to the right 3. And that gives us another point on our line. Starting from that point, we're going to again go up 4 to the right 3. And once I have at least 3 points, I can connect those points going all the way through the graph with arrows on the end. Let's take a look at number 3. Starting with our y-intercept is negative 4, so that point is 0, negative 4. And when we plot that, we're going to start at our origin and go down 4. Then our slope, m equals negative 1/2, which remember is still rise over run. For this example, our rise is negative 1, so that means we're going to go down 1 since it's negative, and then to the right 2. So make sure you're paying attention if you have a negative slope. So starting at our y-intercept, we're going to go down 1 and to the right 2. And we're going to do that one more time, down 1 and to the right 2 to have at least 3 points. And once I have those 3 points, I can connect those points going all the way through my graph, putting arrows on the end. Let's take a look at number 4. Number 4, our y-intercept is a positive 7. So that point is 0, 7. So starting at the origin, we're going to go up 7. Then our slope in this example is a negative 3. Well, in order to graph our slope, it has to be written as a fraction so we can rise and then run. So we're going to put that negative 3 over 1. And we're rising, negative 3, and we're going to run 1. Since that 3 is negative, that means we're going to go down 3 when we rise, and then to the right 1. So starting at our y-intercept, we're going to go down 3 and to the right 1. Then we're going to do that one more time, down 3 and to the right 1. And once we have at least 3 points, we can connect those points all the way through our graph with arrows on the end. You can continue going down 3, right 1 until you run off of your graph. This just gives you more points and more of an accurate picture. But you technically only need 3 points to graph the line. Go ahead and highlight number 5 and 6 on this page. And then highlight 7 through 16 on the next page. As you're working these highlighted problems, I want you to keep in mind that when you complete your slope, when you rise over run, if your slope is negative and you find that you can't rise and run and stay on the graph, you can simply move your negative to your denominator instead of your numerator. And if you have issues with that, please make sure that you ask.